All right, welcome in everyone to another deep dive. This time we're tackling the idea of self-efficacy,
Oh, okay.
or, as Teru Nakashima calls it, Jiko Yuyoken. So I've
Interesting.
got a whole stack of his writing here,
Yeah.
and we are going to break it down.
Okay.
And he really frames this beautifully, this idea of self-efficacy, using like a fruit tree analogy.
Oh, I like that.
So imagine, the fruit is like that feeling, that delicious fruit of self-efficacy, the feeling of being valuable, helpful to others,
Right.
that naturally sort of propels you to contribute to the world.
What I find so interesting about Nakashima's work is that he emphasizes it's not just about feeling good, right? It's about recognizing your inherent value
Yeah.
and how that then, leads you to actually contribute to the world around you.
So it's not just like self-improvement in a vacuum.
Right.
It's almost like self-improvement as a launching pad to make a positive impact.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like that.
And so to help us all cultivate this fruit tree of self-efficacy,
Mm-hmm.
he gives us 10 practical exercises, and he very cleverly categorizes them
Oh, good.
by the time commitment.
Okay.
So like how much time they take
Mm-hmm.
and whether we're focusing on ourselves or seeking external support.
Okay, so you've got, the instant boosts and then habits that you kind of build over time. And
Okay.
then each of those, you've got the self-reliant ones and then the ones where you need other people to kind of
External support.
external support. Yeah.
Yep.
I like the organization there.
Yeah, it's very practical, very actionable.
So where do we want to dive in?
Let's dive into those instant exercises first, the ones that you can literally do right now, no matter how busy you
I
are.
like that.
And so Nakashima starts with what he calls contribution in the now.
Okay.
The idea is to pause at any moment and ask yourself, what tiny contribution can I make right here, right now?
He gives some really great examples in the text.
He does, yeah.
Like, speaking up in a meeting
Yeah.
or giving up your seat on a train or, even just being fully present during a family dinner.
Yeah, just showing up.
But even as you're saying that, I'm like looking around my office and I'm thinking, okay, where are my opportunities for contribution in the now?
Right.
It's kind of like those mindfulness practices, right? Just being in the moment and looking
Yeah,
for.
exactly. And that's a great connection because
Yeah.
it highlights how this seemingly small exercise
Yeah.
can actually have a ripple effect on your well-being and even your interactions with others, right?
Yeah.
So instead of being a passive receiver, in the world, you're actively looking for ways to contribute,
Yeah.
even in these tiny little ways.
It's like shifting that mindset from like, what's in it for me to how can I make this a little bit better?
Precisely.
Yeah.
And you might be surprised by how these, micro contributions can brighten someone's day, maybe even your own.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
So, moving on to the next instant exercise, Nakashima suggests what he calls the 3-minute value note.
Okay.
So this one encourages you to take just 3 minutes, whenever you have a spare moment,
Okay.
to jot down all the value you could potentially offer to others.
I like that.
Yeah, it's about really confronting those maybe negative self-perceptions
Yeah.
with evidence of your actual strengths.
I love this one because, sometimes we get so caught up in like that inner critic,
Right.
right? That voice that's always like,
Exactly.
oh, you're not good at this. You should be good at that.
Yeah.
And it forces you to say, okay, well, wait a minute. Let me actually write down all the things I bring to the table.
Right. It's like creating a more realistic self-image
Yeah.
and then using that to actually boost your confidence.
Yeah. Love it.
All right. So shifting gears a little bit now to the instant exercises that involve seeking external support.
Okay.
We have the gratitude journal.
I feel like a lot of people are familiar with gratitude journals, but I have a feeling Nakashima adds his own
He does.
twist to this.
Yeah, he suggests going beyond just recording that thank you itself.
Okay.
So he encourages you to capture the context, like what specific action of yours elicited that gratitude, and most importantly, how it made you feel.
It's not just about collecting compliments. It's about recognizing your positive impact.
Yes.
Like you actually did something
Right.
that made someone else feel good. And that's pretty cool.
And you deserve to feel good about that.
I like that.
It's like you're creating this treasure chest of positive reinforcement that you can then revisit whenever you need that boost.
Yeah. Love it.
Okay, so we covered contribution in the now. We've covered the 3-minute value note.
Yeah.
We covered the gratitude journal. And what else we got? We have one that's a little bit bolder.
Okay, bring it on.
It's called the helpfulness question.
Ooh, okay.
He actually advises that we should directly ask people, what do you think I'm good at? how do you think I can be helpful?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, so,
I will admit, that one makes me a little hesitant.
yep,
Like, is there a danger of becoming too reliant on what other people
that's a very valid concern.
think? Which, could be.
Yeah, it's crucial to approach this with a discerning mind
Right,
because feedback is subjective, right? It might not always be accurate.
right.
But I think by carefully choosing who you ask
Yeah.
and really considering their perspective,
Mm-hmm.
you can gain some valuable insights.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's not about just blindly accepting,
Right.
but it's sort of like a starting point for
Exactly.
your own self-reflection.
Yeah, it's like, does this resonate with me? Does this align with my own values and aspirations?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, the final instant exercise is all about sharing
Right.
and harnessing this power of sharing
Okay.
in our increasingly connected world.
Okay.
And it's called the instant gift.
I like it.
So what Nakashima's getting at here
Yeah.
is that we all possess valuable knowledge and experiences,
Mm-hmm.
even if we don't consider ourselves like experts with a capital E.
Right.
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 So sharing a book recommendation, a helpful tip, or even just a personal anecdote
Right.
can actually be a really meaningful gift to someone.
Oh, I love that.
Right.
And it's so simple.
It is, yeah.
So easy to do.
Especially today where information is currency, right?
Yeah.
In the knowledge economy.
Yeah, absolutely.
We can share what we know, empower others, and reinforce our own sense of being valuable.
Yeah, I love that.
So these instant gifts are really all around us, just waiting to be shared.
Yeah, I like that.
So it's really about actively looking for opportunities to share what we know, cultivate that mindset of abundance and generosity, both toward others and ourselves.
Yeah, it's a win-win.
It is a win-win.
Totally.
Okay, so we've covered all those like instant self-efficacy boosts.
Mm-hmm.
But now let's move on to the habit exercises.
Okay.
The ones that you can weave into your life to cultivate that feeling of being valuable, capable
Yeah.
over the long haul.
They sound more like lifestyle changes.
Right, exactly.
Than like quick fixes,
Yeah, they are.
So I'm curious what Nakashima has in store for us here.
So the first one is the weekly contribution diary.
Okay.
And it kind of builds on that idea from the 3-minute value note
Yeah.
where we're listing all of our strengths.
Right.
But this time it's about reflecting on the actions that you've taken throughout the week
Okay.
to actually contribute to others.
So instead of like what you could do, it's like, okay,
Okay.
what did I actually do?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Nakashima emphasizes that it's not about like these grand gestures, these heroic feats.
Right. Yeah.
It's really about acknowledging the cumulative impact of these consistent small contributions.
I like that. It takes the pressure off a little bit.
It does.
It's not like
Right.
waiting for that one big moment to prove yourself.
Right. You don't have to save a baby from a burning building
Exactly.
to
Yeah.
feel like you're contributing, right?
Right.
It's like, how can we make those small differences in our everyday lives?
Yeah.
And I think what's so cool about keeping a diary like this
Yeah.
is that you create this tangible record of your positive impact,
Yeah.
It's almost like a gratitude journal, but focused on your actions
Right. Yeah.
rather than just the appreciation you receive from others.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that.
And it can be so motivating to look back and see all the ways you've made a difference, especially on those days when you're feeling a little discouraged,
Oh, yeah.
when you're doubting your worth.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right, so what's next? Well, this one might sound a little woo at first.
Okay. Intrigued.
But stick with me, okay? It's called The Morning Affirmation of Usefulness.
Okay.
And Nakashima suggests starting each day by looking in the mirror
Uh-huh.
and declaring how you intend to be useful that day.
No, I'm all for like starting the day with intention, but this feels
I know, it can feel a little strange.
a little out there.
Right.
For me, can you give me an example? Like, how would this sound? fit?
Lovely. It could be something as simple as like, today I'm going to bring a positive attitude to work. Or today I'm going to be a patient and supportive listener to my friends.
Oh, okay. So it's not like
Right.
bragging about how great you are.
It's about intention.
setting the intention to be
Yeah.
helpful.
Yeah, and while it might seem a little strange at first, Nakashima believes that consistently declaring your intention to be useful can actually become, kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Right. You start to notice
Right.
those opportunities more. Yeah.
Exactly. And I think it's a way of priming your brain
Yeah.
to look for those ways to live up to that declaration.
It's like you set the intention and
Right.
you act on it,
Eh.
which makes you feel good, and then it reinforces your belief in yourself.
Exactly. That's the cycle, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's so simple, but yet so powerful.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay, now this next habit exercise, this one really speaks to my lifelong learner self.
Okay.
It's the regular expertise update.
All right, tell me more. I'm all about learning.
Okay, so Nakashima recommends dedicating time each month to learning something new in your field,
Uh-huh.
or a subject that you're just passionate about.
Okay.
It could be taking a course, reading a book, attending a workshop, or even just having a conversation with someone,
Yeah.
who's knowledgeable in that area.
So what I find so interesting about this is he's not just saying,
Right,
learn new things just for you.
right,
It's like, no, this is actually connected
right. It builds your
to
capacity.
your ability to be useful.
Exactly.
The more you know,
Yeah.
the more you can help other people.
I love that. It's like investing in your own self-efficacy portfolio, right?
Yeah.
Like the more you learn, the more valuable you become both to yourself and to the world.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
So yeah, I'm a big fan of the regular expertise update.
Okay, sign me up for that one.
All right, we've got 2 more in this habit category.
Okay.
And they both focus on seeking that external support.
All right.
So this first one builds on the helpfulness question that we talked about earlier,
Mm-hmm.
but it takes a more structured approach.
Okay.
It's called a monthly feedback request.
Okay.
So instead of just casually asking people what you're good at,
Right.
you're intentionally seeking out feedback
Yeah.
from trusted sources.
Yeah, like people who you really respect and whose opinions you value.
Exactly. So Nakashima suggests choosing a friend, a colleague, a mentor,
Mm-hmm.
and just asking for feedback
Yeah.
on your strengths, areas for growth.
And it could be anything from like a formal sit down,
Right.
to just like a quick check-in.
Hey,
How am I doing? What do you think?
totally. And I think the key here, as we discussed earlier,
Yeah.
is to be open to hearing both positive and constructive feedback.
Right.
It's not about seeking validation or
fishing for compliments.
right. It's about understanding
Yeah.
how others perceive you
Yeah.
and identifying those blind spots that you might not even be aware of.
Yeah. Yeah. Love it.
And by regularly seeking feedback, you're demonstrating your commitment to growth.
Mm-hmm.
You're demonstrating a desire to be more effective.
Right.
And that in itself can boost your self-efficacy, right?
Right.
Like, hey, I'm not complacent. I'm always striving to improve.
Yeah. Love it.
Okay, so I'm really see how all of these exercises are so interconnected,
Mm-hmm.
right? They build on each other.
I do.
And it's really a holistic approach to cultivating this sense of self-efficacy,
It really is.
right? So the final habit exercise
Okay.
in this toolkit,
Bring it on.
it's called the gratitude sharing session.
Ooh. I like it already.
And it's all about celebrating the contributions of others
Okay.
and fostering this culture of appreciation.
Love it.
So Nakashima suggests that we should have these regular gatherings with friends, family, or colleagues
Mm-hmm.
where you just take turns expressing gratitude
Okay.
for each other's positive qualities and actions.
It's so wholesome.
It is. It's so nice.
It's like shifting that focus from just self-improvement
Yeah.
to a shared experience.
It's this collective,
Yeah.
appreciation.
Totally.
And what's so fascinating here is that by acknowledging others' contributions, we're also reinforcing our own sense of self-worth.
I was just thinking that. It's like,
Right.
it's reminding us we're all interconnected.
Exactly.
And that our actions, they have a ripple effect.
They do.
I love how he kind of emphasizes that interconnectedness.
It's a powerful message.
Yeah.
It's reminding us that feeling valuable and helpful isn't selfish,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's the foundation for making a positive impact on the world.
Yeah.
And the more we contribute, the more we reinforce our own sense of self-worth.
It's a beautiful cycle.
It is. It's a virtuous cycle.
Yeah. I love it. Wow. So we just went through all 10 of Nakashima's exercises.
We did.
From, those quick instant ones to the habits we can build over time.
Mm-hmm.
This is like he's given us a toolkit
Yes.
to nurture that, that fruit tree of self-efficacy.
I love that analogy.
What really resonates with you?
After going through all this,
Yeah.
it really is that emphasis on the interconnectedness of self-efficacy and contribution.
Yeah.
He's reminding us that feeling valuable isn't selfish.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually the foundation for having a positive impact.
It's like they say, the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others.
Yeah.
But what I love about Nakashima is it's not just inspirational fluff, it's practical.
Yeah.
It's like he doesn't just say believe in yourself. He says try the 3-minute value note.
Yes, exactly.
And I think that makes it so accessible.
It does.
To anyone.
Yeah.
Before we wrap up, I want to go back to that powerful image Nakashima leaves us with.
Okay.
He compares our inherent value to a newborn baby or glooming flower.
I love that.
Just bringing light and richness to the world.
Simply by
By
existing,
existing, he's saying you don't have to earn it.
right?
It's already there.
It's there like a seed
50-50.
with the potential for this magnificent tree.
Yeah, and just like a fruit tree naturally bears fruit,
Mm-hmm.
we too can bring forth those unique contributions. So as
Exactly.
Nakashima asks, what fruit will your tree bear?
It's such a good question, and he wants us to think about it.
It's not just rhetorical.
No, it's a call to action, right?
Yeah.
Explore your passions, your skills.
Your values,
Yeah,
and how can you best, make that positive impact?
exactly.
I love that he ends on such a hopeful note.
Yeah, it is.
It's empowering.
It is.
Well, thanks for joining on this deep dive into the fruits of self-worth.
Absolutely. It's been a pleasure.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, keep growing.